You are listening to Move Forward with Matt Campisi. Move Forward is an interesting mix of motivational, political, and comedic discussions designed to empower, inspire, and entertain. Host Matt Campisi is a political candidate and social advocate. Episodes feature special guests and occasional artistic performances. And now here is your host, Matt Campisi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Move Forward with Matthew Campisi. I appreciate your listening to the podcast. We are on Spotify and all the major platforms for podcasting. We are also on YouTube. If you go to MatthewCampisi.com, you can find our YouTube page and you can listen to us by watching YouTube videos of the podcast. So very, very easy to listen to this podcast and check it out. And you can comment if you're interested, if you're so inclined. You can also send me emails and talk to me about the topics that are discussed. That's very simple. Just go to MatthewCampisi.com, click on the contact link, send me an email. If it's a positive email, if it's not abusive in any way, I will read it and I will certainly respond if I can. And we can have a back and forth dialogue about these topics. I like to engage with my audience, and I am open-minded. I will say that. If you completely disagree with me, as long as it's done with a shred of respect, I'll be happy to have a dialogue with you about it, and maybe I might learn something in the process. Today's podcast. Okay, this is a tough one for me. Maybe it's also a tough one for you. It's something that every single one of us will experience at some point in our lives. And it's something that could be very difficult. Some people handle it better than others, but it's never easy for anyone. What I'm talking about in today's podcast is rejection. Whether you are rejected by a love interest, somebody you like, whether you're turned down for a job, maybe denied a college admission, maybe you're ignored by a friend or a family member, or maybe even in today's day and age, with the proliferation of social media in our lives, maybe having very few followers or not getting likes on something that we put out is a new form of rejection. The question I have in today's podcast is, how can we turn rejection into something positive in our lives? How can we successfully negotiate being rejected? It's not easy being rejected, especially by people who matter to us or by things that are very important for our lives. We have goals. And when we are rejected, it could feel devastating. How can we turn that into something positive for our lives? How can we successfully negotiate the rejections that we face in our lives? That is the topic of today's podcast on Move Forward with Matt Campisi.
Rejection is tough, man. Whether you're talking about getting rejected by a woman that you really like, that you're really attracted to, that you have feelings for, it hurts. I've certainly been rejected by my fair share of love interests, been hurt and abused in relationships, chased after women that I probably shouldn't have chased after, allowed myself to be treated like shit by a woman. I've been there. And it hurts to be rejected, Denial. There's a lot of denial that No way she could be rejecting me, right? You don't want to believe it. It hurts, man. And you know, you ask yourself, why? What's wrong with me? Why doesn't she like me? Same way when you're dealing with rejection, you know, for a job. It's a job you really, really want. It's something that could, you know, change your life, improve your finances, just something that, you know, is really important for your goals, for your life. You know, and you go to that interview and you put your best face forward and you try to dazzle the interviewers, and they still turn you down. That's if you get to the interview. A lot of times nowadays in this job market, you know, you're rejected several minutes after you apply. You get an email saying thanks, but no thanks. You know, and in some instances, you find out that the person that they selected had less experience than you do. You know, and that is enraging. You know, they don't pick you, but you were the best candidate. Same thing with promotions, you know, when you're going up for a promotion, to be rejected, to be overlooked. Rejection sucks. And nowadays, you know, we have social media. It's a new avenue for us to be rejected. You know, you post on Facebook or you post something on TikTok or Instagram. Nobody likes it, you know? No comments. You don't have very many followers. It's a rejection. People are clearly saying, I'm not interested. Or to be rejected by friends or family. You know, they don't want anything to do with you. They're not interested in a friendship. They're not interested in a relationship with you. Why? What's wrong with me? Why don't you want to be my friend? You know, rejection. Many of us have faced repeated rejections, and it sucks. It really, really sucks. So, how do we get past it? How do we move past rejection? How do we make something of our lives when so many people out there are rejecting us, are turning us down, saying that we're not good enough or that they don't want us in their lives? It's a great question, right? It's a question I've asked myself many times. Maybe it's a question that, you know, you ask yourself also. Well, I'll take, you know, love interests as an example. Like I said, I was rejected by many, many women, but I finally found someone, and I'm married now. My philosophy, and I think what made me finally successful, is my refusal to give up, my willingness to do whatever it takes to find love. And in some cases, that means thinking outside the box. American women are tough. They're tough, man. If you're not tall, dark, and handsome, good luck. Good luck to you. I'm short, pale, and unattractive. I'm the exact three things that women are not looking for. And I'm not rich. So it's difficult for me to find, you know, an attractive woman who'd be interested in me. So I didn't give up, you know. Despite repeated rejections, I kept putting myself out there. I kept risking that rejection, sticking my neck out and saying, I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to give up. You know, I looked outside of the United States. I started looking at foreign women, and I finally met someone who wasn't particularly after my money, who was just looking for a real connection. And I got married. I fell in love and got married, and I was successful. Now, I'm not saying that everybody, you know, needs to, you know, go to the Philippines or go, you know, to get a Russian woman or something like that, Ukrainian, to be successful. All I'm saying is that the real message in that is to not give up, to keep trying, that your person is out there. You know, there are billions of people in the world. You know, certainly out of those billions of people, there's someone out there for you. And you're going to wade through a lot of muck and shit until, you finally meet the person for you. And it might not happen right away. It may take many, many years before you're successful. And if you quit before you get there, you'll never get there. You have to persevere. You have to keep putting yourself out there, keep trying. And that's how I was successful. And that applies to everything. That applies to the job situation. If you're being rejected for work, even if you have a great resume and all the qualifications and experience for the job and they're still turning you down, keep applying, keep trying. Don't give up, because sooner or later, somebody's going to say yes. A lot of doors will slam in your face. There's no doubt. Same with if you're, operating your own business. It's tough. Operating your own business is one of the toughest things you can do. And you're going to face a lot of adversity there. It's hard to find customers. It's hard to find clients. You've got to keep pushing and pushing and keep trying and persevering. And that's how you're going to be successful. And with social media, I think it's a very, very similar thing. But I think with social media, here's how I look at that. I'm not doing social media. I'm not doing what I'm doing right now, to be popular. In fact, I realize that I might not be very popular because of, the messages that I'm putting out there. I'm not a comedian. I'm not putting out, stuff that's conventionally popular. I'm talking about things that are maybe not so popular. Maybe people disagree with me on a lot of things. So I'm not doing it for popularity. I'm doing it because it's important to me. These are things that are important to me, and it's my way of expressing myself. So at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit if, I have 1 million followers or 1 million likes or any of that stuff on social media. My feeling is that if I connect with one person, I'm happy. If somebody out there is like, I relate to what Matt's saying there. I'm glad I'm not the only one. That's a success to me. So I don't give a shit about the numbers when it comes to social media. If I did, I would have given up, a long time ago when I started posting on social media, because I'm not, a guy with 1 million followers. I barely, it's a lot for me to have 100, a lot for me to have, 2 likes on a post, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. So I think with social media, you do it because you love doing it, because you're expressing yourself, you're getting something out of that. And if people appreciate that, if people want to be a part of that, great. If not, I'm still going to continue to do it. Because like I said, this is my outlet to express myself, and that's a wonderful thing. You didn't always have that. The internet has allowed people to express themselves way more easily than in the past. So I think that's the message. It's not giving up. You're going to face so much rejection in this world. This world is filled with rejection. A lot of people are going to reject you. Maybe even people that you really, really care about and really love, like your family, are going to reject you. They're going to say, nope, not for me. And you can get angry and you can get bitter, or you can move on. My feeling is if somebody's rejecting me, they're not for me. Fuck them is my attitude. If I'm not good enough for you, if you don't think I'm good enough to work at your company, or you don't think I'm handsome enough to date and have a relationship with, or if I'm not good enough to be your friend or family member, fuck you. I don't want you in my life. And you know what? Rejection works both ways. Rejection works both ways. And guess what? Now I'm rejecting you. You know what I mean? Take that attitude. Fuck them. Do you really want somebody like that in your life? Do you really want to work for that job where they're rejecting you? No thanks. No thanks. Your people will come. You'll find your people if you keep putting yourself out there, and you risk rejection. If you do nothing, you just sit in your room, never leave the house, never bother to do anything in life, yeah, you probably won't get rejected because you never had the opportunity to get rejected. You've got to stick your neck out. You've got to try, to achieve something in life, to be better. And you got to wade through a lot of shit and muck in this world. But don't give up. That's the answer to rejection. Don't give up. And if somebody or something is rejecting you, let it go. Let it go and move on and search and find the people who won't reject you. Your people. Your people are out there. You just got to find them. You just got to find them. You can't give up, man. Rejection hurts. I've been there, guys. Especially when it's people that are important to you, it really fucking hurts. When somebody that you really care about rejects you, when something that's really important for your life, like, you apply to go to a certain college and they reject you, or you apply to be a member of a group and they reject you, it fucking hurts. It sucks, man. It's one of the worst things in life. There's a lot of bad things in life, but it's a pretty bad thing. But are you going to let that defeat you? Fuck them. It wasn't meant for you, man. It wasn't meant for you. Do you really want to be with those people that reject you? You got to just move on in life. Accept it. Okay? That job's not for me. It's not for me. Or that woman is not for me. Or if you're a female listening to this, that guy is not for me, And you move on. You move on with your life. You move on with your life and you keep searching for the situation, the person that is right for you. And thank God I found my wife. I'm so grateful. She said yes when so many others said no. She said yes. You keep knocking on doors slam in your face. You keep knocking on doors, and sooner or later, a door is going to open for you. Sooner or later, a door is going to open for you. And that's your person. That's your person. And that's how you handle rejection. You don't just give up. I think everybody, sooner or later, is going to face some type of rejection. Not everybody gets everything that they want in life. Sooner or later, somebody or something is going to reject you. And that's the right mindset to have to be successful in this life, is to not give up. And I want to be clear. If you are someone who has rejected me, whether you are somebody that I express an interest in, whether you are a job that I applied to, a group that I applied to, people on social media, thank you. You made me a stronger person. And I no longer want you in my life. If I'm not good enough for you, then let's part ways and let's have nothing to do with each other. Because you're not what I want in my life. I want people who accept me. I want yes people. I want people who don't look down on me, who respect me, who believe in me. Those are the people who I want in my life. I don't want you in my life. If you've rejected me, I don't want you in my life. So thank you. My message to these people is thank you. Thank you for rejecting me. Because you cleaned out the shit. You cleaned out the gutters. And now I can move forward with my life and find the yes people, the people who do want to be my friend, the people who do want me in their life, the job that says I'm qualified, I'm good enough to work at this location. Guys, if you understand what I'm saying, if you agree with it, if you disagree with it, send me a message. Let me know. Go to my website, MatthewCampisi.com. Click on the contact link. Send me an email. Tell me what you think about rejection. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope that I spread a little inspiration. If you are someone who is dealing with rejection or has recently dealt with rejection in your life, it's a very clear, very simple message. Don't give up. Keep trying, keep pushing. And don't attach yourself to someone or something that has rejected you. Let it go. You're better off without them. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. It's 2026, guys. 2026. We got a lot more podcast episodes coming your way. We're going to be talking about some interesting things. I really appreciate you listening to Move Forward with Matt Campisi. That's exactly what we're going to do, guys, in 2026. We're going to move forward. We're going to move past all the hurt and bullshit, and we're going to move forward. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.